we live in Atlantic County and in Wyoming. And I owe that to my fathers and mothers before me. My great-great-grandmother and grandfather came here from England, and my great-grandfather and grandmother were actually only lived a few blocks apart from each other in England, but it took coming to Salt Lake City to where they met and got married, and then they come to Evanston. But I guess I bring that up because my fathers and mothers have taught me a lot over the years. They've set examples for me, and those were self-reliance and working hard, never quit, follow your moral compass, and do the right thing. And I think those are so important to keep us in the right line. I've always enjoyed police work. I've been a police officer in Evanston now for almost 32 years. You know, during that, I've had various experiences. I've been involved in big cases. I've worked in investigations. I've worked a lot of drug cases. But my main focus and where I always have felt the best is out where the rubber meets the road, where I'm having contact with the people that I feel like we're serving. You know, as police officers, we're problem solvers. And, you know, we might be able to run our lights aside and look cool, but when it really comes down to it, we're problem solvers for you, the people that we serve. And the better that we can do that, involving in the community, the better that everyone will be for it. Law enforcement is not very effective if the community you serve isn't involved in those decisions and those things. You know, I feel like just because of my experience and being out with the people, you know, as a law enforcement officer, you don't always make a lot of money, especially when you're just starting out. So I've always had part-time jobs where I've done jobs in the community, driving truck, working in the oil field, all those things. And I think that kept me grounded to what all of you are doing every day, you know, and the hard work, the independent attitude of Wyoming. And so those life experiences, I think, have helped me to be a qualified candidate for sheriff. Community policing is just so important. Back when I very first started, back in 1983, the group of us at the police department, we knew that we needed to be more involved in the community. We needed to give back. And so a few of us, they're all gone now, but we decided we would start the Evanston Police Benevolent Association so that we could give back. And then, you know, by that, I thought, well, we can even do more. So I started Shop with a Cop, and we've done that every year since. But I think the main thing is that community-oriented government is the most effective way to do any kind of government, but especially policing, because there's just so many things that are quality of life issues. You know, I'm talking to a lady in Fort Bridger, and her biggest concern is she feels like speeders in Fort Bridger. But if you're in her shoes, that is the most important thing. But then someone that's living next to a drug house, that becomes their most important thing. And so those are quality of life issues that we need to address through community-oriented policing and empowering your employees to have ability to make decisions, and do that is the best way for policing. Thank you. Well, my children are all raised. Most of my commitments are taken care of. I would be able to commit my whole time to being sheriff. And as a law enforcement officer, you're on call all the time anyway, so it wouldn't be much different for me. I think that's just something that comes with the job. Thank you. Problem for the sheriff's office because it limits what we can do. You know, we need to be careful not to let government get too big. I've been around in government for a long time now, and I know that it's really easy when things are good to let government get too big. So we got to be careful about that. And, you know, we may have to pull the reins back a little bit. We've got to be smarter how we spend the money, how we do things. And I think developing partnerships with other agencies is critical to that. You know, we're going to have to depend on each other a lot more, you know, just to get the job done. And then the other things that are always an issue are, you know, the DUIs, alcohol offenses, domestic violence, underage drinking, and drugs are a serious problem in the county. And so we've got to work smart in enforcing those crimes too, and try to, you know, just use our resources the best we can and depend on other agencies to help and be able to work this through. But I truly think that UNT County has a very bright future, and law enforcement in UNT County does too.